Attention fans who say you wish you could support me on Patreon but cannot for whatever reason. This is your lucky day. Today's sponsor is Art of Conquest, a free mobile PvP strategy game. Art of Conquest is a real-time strategy game where you form your empire and dominate. Build your fortress, go kick some ass, or make some friends. Invite your friends to play so you have advantage over other players. Explore the huge world map by utilizing the hundreds of different troop options. Two things that I liked about the game: the controls are easy and intuitive, and actually really like the art style. To me, that separates this game from most other mobile games. From your iPhone or Android, use the link in the description to try Art of Conquest for free. No strings attached. Guys, supporting sponsors like these helps out the channel immensely and ensures that YouTube can stay my job. It doesn't cost you anything and it helps me out a lot, so please go check them out. Hey guys, it is Mike with Come the Night. Welcome back to another Song Suggestion Friday. Today is a special episode of Song Suggestion Friday. Today's theme is songs that are 15 minutes or longer. Okay, I did put a cap at 30 minutes. Sorry, I'm not listening to your 1 hour long song. No. I would like to continue doing theme Song Suggestion Fridays. I'm thinking doing one a month. This is kind of just an experiment, so in the future, when I'll be doing theme Song Suggestion Fridays, I will let you know the previous week. This is the show where you put your suggestions in the comments below. I pick 5 of your suggestions from the comment section. Patrons of $10 or more a month send their suggestions directly to me. Those go into a poll. Patrons of $5 or more a month vote on that poll, and I pick 3 from that poll. I pick another 2, the magic 2, from the $10 suggestions that did not win. I listen to those 10 songs, I give you my feedback, my opinion, I grade them on a plus sign, equal sign, minus sign, whether or not I would actively seek that song out again or actively avoid it. I am offering guitar lessons, so if you would like guitar lessons, please email me, becomethenight@gmail.com. I also do paid song critiques for your original works. You can email me at becomethenight@gmail.com. Let's begin. In the Name of God by Dream Theater. Like the mix on the clean guitar in the intro, it's very wide. I think they probably multi-tracked that. The riff that comes in, it's kind of like our main theme, our main riff at 30 seconds. Very groovy. The guitar tone on this album was darker than I think any of the other albums. Then we come into our riff at 1 minute and 7. Actually, I think this is probably the main theme. Very headbangable. I've already talked about Portnoy and the production of Dream Theater and how awesome everyone is. Far too much, so I'm not going to address any of that. Digging the melody of the verses so far. There's an accent feel change at 1:45 that's so Portnoy. And then they go from there into a feel change at 2:35 going into the chorus. Don't know if I really like that, honestly. Great melody and great feel for the chorus, and they get reprised throughout the song and they all feel great. Just that particular transition I just felt was a little drastic. It goes very well into the second verse though. The melody that they chose for the second verse I feel like would have been better for another singer. At 4:35, we do like this post-chorus thing that's very brief and then does a reprise of the chorus immediately following. But that post-chorus thing has like a really cool Phrygian feel I was digging. Brings us to like a new interpretation of the chorus. 5:35, we get to like this just straight drum and bass part, kind of grooving, almost a little traditional, but not really. Then a little bit of piano comes in with a little bit of synth. Love that vibe. The rhythm of the melody at this part feels really weird with the type of delivery that he's doing. Then it blends back to our first statement and we get our first solos. Great phrasing at the first solo. Keyboard starts playing in unison with him. At 8:08, they do like that typical offbeat Dream Theater thing that appears in so many of their songs. At 8:38, out of nowhere, we get a samba beat with this insane lead over top of it. Very unexpected, very cool. Then the keyboard takes a solo as kind of a development off of that solo. Then we get another guitar solo, which was dope as fuck, with a key harmony that is ridiculous. This is the exact reason why I love this band. Then at 10:27, we get our typical Dream Theater, super long song, big chords at the end, where the drums are kind of laid back. John Petrucci's just playing some guitar, and you have the keys doing like the melody over top. Like, it's literally formulaic at this point. Chorus reprise feels great. Outro may have been a little long though, honestly. Like, I think they stretched that out quite a bit. It's definitely not my favorite Dream Theater song, but really good solo work. Total grade for this song, plus sign. Black Rose Immortal by Opeth. This is the pre-Steven Wilson era. The bass mix is garbage. The drum mix is also awful. It's basically the boom of the kick, cymbals, the bottom snare mic, and that's it. The low end, most of the low end is completely cut out in this mix. It's awful. Some of these riffs throughout were cool. almost all of them were over repeated, especially some of the ones that were like average, repeating those over and over again. God, no, stop. At some parts, I kind of feel like it's kind of a blend of death and black metal type of sound. Riff at 114 is good, not good enough to listen to it for 40 seconds over and over again. Folk guitar throughout, quite nice. Agrafelt definitely stepped up his writing game later. Like, this is pretty okay at best. Way too much repetition in the song, way too much randomly moving from one place to another and just hanging there for far too long. It doesn't feel like it has a development of ideas, kind of feels like it jumps from place to place randomly without a reason. 315, there's a cool groove. Chord progression's okay, the groove is better. The guitar tone could be much better, to be honest. It honestly just sounds cheap. At 405-ish, kind of drops off to like this demented acoustic thing. At that part, they have an acoustic bass there. Far better mix on that acoustic bass than on the electric bass. Way better. This whole song really just feels like a cheap imitation of what his later works would be. Just the whole thing just has a really self-indulgent vibe to it. There's no reason this song even needed to be 10 minutes long, let alone 20 minutes. Growls are still solid. Groove at 729 was good. And they'll probably repeat it to death until I hate it. At 814, the solo is well written. I think that he could have worked on his articulation a little bit. At 923, it kind of does these volume swells on the electric guitar over top of acoustic guitar. Really like that feeling. And they must have recorded those acoustic guitars at different times, because the acoustic guitar at that specific part sounded 100 times better than at any other parts of the song. By the time we got to 1225, I was bored out of my fucking skull. This one track should be split up into many tracks that make up half of an album. It should not be one song. This is basically Return of the King because they had like 6 endings and it didn't fucking stop. There's this small little guitar part at 1530 where they kind of did some weird, dark, demented type of harmony with the acoustic rhythm guitars. I liked that. The song had some ups, had a lot of downs, purely due to the gargantuan length of this song. Total grade for this song, -sign. Yes, no artist is safe, even my beloved Opeth. Voodoo Chile by Jimi Hendrix. This is the live, extraordinarily chilled out version of Voodoo Child. Super bluesy, nice intro statement, great groove. They're assisted by a Hammond B3 with a Leslie. That keys player fucking slays it. I actually do enjoy the original. This dirtier, slow blues version I actually like more. I would have loved to have been there live. By making it slower and kind of more chilled out, it gives the lyrics a lot more importance. It also helps me appreciate Jimmy's singing voice a hell of a lot more. Jimmy's guitar tone, awesome. Bass is just laying down the beat with this nice, smooth, super warm groove. Absolutely love the chorus parts when the Hammond just starts slamming these big fucking loud chords and rocks that Leslie. At 450, the guitar solo is cool, but you can tell he's feeling it. Nothing at that particular solo really wowed me. Key solo at 550 is nice. Kind of feel the same way about that key solo as I did about the guitar solo. Awesome use of dynamics throughout the song. Fantastic, like textbook. At 807, this is where Jimmy gets way tasty with his guitar solo, kind of rolls back the volume knob a little bit and just lets it speak. Much better articulation on this one. Like, I know he's just sitting here jamming, but it feels like he put more thought into his phrasing. At 905, we get a drum solo, and he starts going on these 3 groups at 8th notes, which contrasts against the rest of the band's rhythm. Almost feels like a polyrhythm. Very cool. This drum solo had a hell of a lot of finesse and an excellent use of dynamic. There are parts where the drums feel like they almost melt away. 1038, Jimmy does this really brief thing where he blows this feedback through his guitar. I think he does it on purpose, and that was annoying as hell. You literally hear people in the crowd yelling, "Whoa, turn it down." Hendrix, to me, way better at blues than he is at anything else. You can tell it's his home. Total grade for this song, +sign. Close to the Edge by Yes. This is only the 18-minute track, not the album. Starts out with like a rolling creak and then starts to fade in with some really weird keys synthesizer shit that I really enjoyed. Fantastic sonic picture in the intro, gives us a nice gradual crescendo. I have no idea how to describe the first statement, like harmonically, it's really fucking weird. I love it. At 123, I think he went a little overboard on the keys part. It was a really cool part. It's like this arpeggiated type of thing. I'm pretty sure it's arpeggiated, but it was like super fast and very deliberate over top of this stuff that was a little more grooving, and it just stuck out way the fuck too much and was not that interesting of a part, that dynamic to stick out that much. It was just weird. It felt awkward. Really cool part at the wrong part of the song. This entire song is full of some extremely tasty phrasing. 251, we got a couple stops here, some cool vocal harmonies all before that and right during it. And then at 3 minutes, we just burst into our main theme, at least I think is our main theme. Chord progression is weird, but I love it. Love the groove at 354. I believe this is our verse. The vocals fit perfectly over top of it. Great melody and harmony. It's like a 6 feel, but it still feels offbeat. At 454, I realized they need more options for their guitar. 510, love the melody. Especially over this major to relative minor chord progression that kind of walks down that way. Love it. Just feels so satisfying. I'm not sure how I feel about the chorus as much. It's not bad, just kind of awkward to me when the way that they sing close to the edge. It just feels weird. At 6:15, we have this slap back delay on the vocals. Really like that touch. At 8:30-ish, we go back to the vibiness. Get some small water drops kind of coming in there. Great touch. Then at 9:50, we get some E-piano, bringing us back to like a song again. Beautiful, gentle melody. Kind of ecstasy-like. You could definitely tell this is a time before auto-tune. Excellent vocal composition and arrangement here. There's like a couple of different vocal parts all weaving in and out of each other. Love the crescendo. Then it like blows up into this church organ. Super cool. This is the best way I could describe it. Does a weird Moog synthesizer thing into an even weirder thing at 4:14. I'm pretty sure that even weirder thing has planing harmonies in it. 15 minutes, we finally make it back to the main groove after this fucking adventure. Killer rock organ solo. Really cool song with some really awesome moments. Barely squeezes by for me, but total grade for this song, plus sign. Tarkus by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. This is a multi-movement song that was condensed into one track. Well, I say condensed lightly, it's 20 minutes long. When we finally break out at 32 seconds, fucking love the groove here. It's like a 5/8 groovin' modal feel, really nice. Phrasing on all these instruments throughout the song is killer. It is a more quiet master, but I'm not upset about that. Absolutely love the bass tone in this song. The bass pretty much acted like a rhythm guitar throughout most of the song. Feels kind of robotic at parts. Organ work is kick-ass. 2:42, we settled down from our 5/8 craziness into a 4/4 super chill groove. And they also do that weird chord progression thing like Yes does. Has a nice melody. I like the vocals, they're nice. Rock with no guitar. Interesting. Guitar comes up later in the song, but most of the song has no guitar. These guys have a fantastic sense of rhythm. I can see people in the 70s tripping their fucking nads off to this shit. Drummer is excellent, very tasty drums, very groovy. Production for the time is pretty good. Great use of panning and effects. At 6:30, I love that crazy weird groove. Harmonically weird, but rhythmically satisfying and colorfully dark. 7:41, we finally get something that resembles traditional rock and roll. The melody here is decent, but the delivery is a little meh. At 8:46, he starts doing this chunk on this highly distorted organ, and it sounds like a guitar. Really fucking cool. At 9:40, the snare hits are really loud and like compressed in just the right way. Highly satisfying crunch. Then a guitar comes in out of nowhere doing some like wild slide downs, almost feel like dive bombs at parts. I'm playing some relatively simple licks. I mean, like, honestly, they're really dead simple, but they fit the part perfectly. The guy's voice vaguely reminds me of John Lennon and I think Paul McCartney mixed together. So vaguely British. 12:38, they randomly had a phaser mix on the drum, which was panning the high end of the phaser back and forth. Really fucking cool. This song takes its time for sure. I don't mind at all. At 6:54, we get this march feel, and then there's like this awkward duck sounding synth, like a duck is quacking. I just had visions of these ducks marching off into war to fight the Saxons, then just massive duck decapitations everywhere. I was laughing my ass off more than anything else. This is the epitome of a classic prog epic. Loved it. Total grade for this song, plus sign. In keeping with the theme, I had to pick a song that was over 15 minutes long. Sadly, I couldn't find any that I hadn't already suggested before. That at least came to mind anyway. So for this week, I will recommend to you Racecar by Periphery. I know I have recommended it before. Go listen to it again. That is it for Song Suggestion Friday. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know what you think about the theme in the comments below. I did only do 5 songs this week, and it's still probably as long, if not longer, than a normal episode. Please support me on Patreon. That would be awesome, but keeps YouTube being my job. You can also send me a tip on PayPal or by Bitcoin. Again, I offer guitar lessons and song critiques of your original work. You can email me at becomethenight@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram @BecomeTheNight. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next video. Rock on!